Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 3. If you were new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you're one of my peoples, welcome back. So let's get into some comments from last week's episode. We only have one, and it's from Uma's Storytime World. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So if it's not Uma, can you please break it down for me so I can be giving you a correct shout out? But shout out yourself, one of your new peoples. I was like, oh, I love when I get my new peoples and they comment on my reviews. I'm a little person over here on the YouTube street, so I appreciate each and every one of y'all to come out and look at my videos and when y'all comment. So let's get on with the. Oh, and for my new people, if I used to automatically comment, but I like commenting on my next video, so I can give y'all a shout out in the video and say hey and all that other stuff. So we got Brett and Ryan. It is their turn to get married. And Brett's daddy was grinning like it was his day to get married. He was walking down the aisle smiling like, yes, this is the day that I've been waiting on. He had him a big old huge grin on his face. I was like, all right, Brett's daddy. But Brett got nervous because, when they get up there and like his friends say this, that, and the third, Ryan, he like to go out to the ranch and stuff like that. And that kind of made Brett nervous. But when he said they said he liked to bake pies and watch the notebook, she was like, oh, yes, I'm all in for this. I was like, okay. So that's something they have in common. I guess she liked to bake or she liked to eat pies and watch the notebook too, or watch a good movie. Now, Brett, wait a minute. Brett was ready to kiss Ryan before the official even said, you may now kiss the bride. She went over there and kissed him, and she's like, oops. And the official's like, okay, I got one more thing to say. You may now kiss your Brett. So they was able to get that kiss. I guess she was so nervous and she was so happy. She didn't know what to do with herself. And I was kind of like nervous for these two because Brett was a serial dater. And, I didn't know how this was going to come across between the two of them. He did seem like he was getting emotional as he was seeing her walk down the aisle. And that has to be like a nerve wracking thing, getting married at first sight. Like, what if this person is like, you don't find them visually attractive or they don't find you visually attractive? And y'all sit there, can you just be like, I don't want to do this? Or do you have to go through with the wedding? Now over there with Rachel and Jose, Rachel is worried about losing her confidence or losing herself in a new relationship like she's done in the past. She's done that to appease the person she's with, and it's like she wasn't happy because she wasn't being her authentic self. Now, y'all, when it's time for the officiant to say what the friend's saying, like I am Rachel and Rachel is me, because when I am hungry I just get very, very aggravated. My head starts to hurting, and like the only thing that can appease me being aggravated is getting some food in my system. That's why I like to have snacks on deck at all times, whether it's some graham crackers or some what's it called, caramel rice cakes. I like to have me some kind of snack so I don't get to that hangry, phase. And I was worried about Rachel and Jose, seeing as he is a perfectionist. But he was grinning like a Cheshire cat when she was walking down the aisle. And I was like, okay. Because it, like, when they went to the commercials, it seemed like he looked like, ugh. And I was like, man, I don't want this. I don't want her to feel like, she not visually pleasing or, pretty and all that other stuff. But he was grinning like that Cheshire cat. And I was like, hopefully these two was able to make it and she won't lose herself in their relationship. After their vows, they play like a cute little game of what we have in common. They were both born and raised in Houston, Texas. They both love sports and they both speak Spanish. But y'all, things were going really, really well with these two. And I was like, because he was nervous because he's like, he's sure he has a big nose, he has a big forehead. What if his new bride doesn't like him? things were going so well until she made the comment she's happy with it's not just person she's happy with personality and not just looks. And I think he took that as she doesn't find him visually attractive. But we find out that she says she thinks he's cute and he's handsome. It's just that, she she doesn't just want a pretty face. She wants somebody that is, has a personality, who is confident. But I was like, she needed to convey that more, because after that, he just was like a stick in the mud. When it was time for them to take pictures, he wasn't smiling. That Cheshire cat grin he had on his face was no longer there. And I was like, if she had a she's like she's glad that he has a personality and looks to match it. You know, she should have said that. Mirla does not want to take Gil's last name, and she don't want to kiss this man on his lips. And I understand not wanting to take this man's last name because you just met this man 15 minutes ago. But Gil, he is very traditional. He's like, my wife should have my last name. But she looking at it as, her father is deceased, and she would like to keep his last name. And I was like, I can understand that as well. Over there with Jose and Rachel, he's asking where does she live and when is her lease up. He's telling Rachel he knows what he wants and he gets what he wants. It's like his attitude kind of sort of changed after that comment she had made. But he's basically letting her know, once your lease is up, you're going to be moving into one of the houses that I own. I think she says she lives in the Galleria area. And I'm not trying to down the Galleria area, but if you are living in the Houston area, or you don't live in the Houston area and you're in Houston for whatever reason and you go to the Galleria Mall, watch your back, because they got people out here, staking people out, and they see you got a fancy bag from a nice store. They will not gonna run up on you and take your bag and knock you over. Just, a little PSA. So Johnny's love language is touch, and that's how you know somebody's attracted to him. Bao, touching is not really her thing, and she's gonna try to appease him, but that is like on the lower list of the things she likes. She lets him know. He's asking, is she good with money? And she's like, she's decent with money. And he asked what was the last thing she splurged on, and she said it was her wedding shoes. She got some Jimmy Choos, and he was like, oh, but she's like, I got them at a consignment store. And he didn't know what a consignment store was. She was like, it's pre-owned. Consignment store is just that, it's, I don't want to say it's like a Goodwill, because with the consignment store, the person who put their stuff in the consignment shop, they get a portion of whatever their item sold for. As far as the Goodwill, you just donate your stuff, and the Goodwill gets the whole. They make 100% profit basically. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, I am out here for a deal. I'm out here trying to get the 50 and 60% off. I'm all about a clearance. And I want to find me a nice consignment store here in Houston. But at the same time, I don't be going nowhere, because like once I leave work, it's like I want to go home, take a shower, and sit in the bed. Weekends, I want to put on my caftan. Some of y'all might call it a moo, and I just want to chill. I don't like going nowhere anymore. Well, Val said she had a crush on Johnny since they was in college, but she was scared to pursue it. I was like, I hope these two work. So Brett, she conveys to Ryan's friend that she's not a country girl. She doesn't own boobs, and she doesn't want to go to out, on ranch and killing things. I don't know what I wrote. She doesn't to stay and say not here. I don't know what that was about. I did not correct it, but she not all for going out and hunting and all that stuff. I was like, I am not a country girl too, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself when I went to the rodeo a few years ago. My husband, he got some tickets from his job, and these was like tickets are like $200 each. And we got to we got to meet some of the riders in the rodeo. That was the first time I was next to an actual horse. And I was like, I've seen horses because here in Houston, side note, y'all, where I live at, people just be riding down the street on a horse. Now, this is not country. This is not a country road I'm talking about. I'm talking about on the main street. People just riding their horse through the neighborhood, just riding their horse. I've seen that when I've been in the car. But like outside of a horse, standing next to a horse, I was like, these horses are huge. We got to meet like I said, the people who are going to be in the rodeo. We got to be on the actual dirt where the rodeo is being held. We got to be in the opening ceremony. We got to be on the back of a wagon and like waving at everybody as we was like going around the arena. We got to be in the skybox. They fed us food. And they had a concert. I forgot. I think it was Old Dominion was going to be performing, but my husband had to go to work that evening, so we was like we had to cut it short and we couldn't go to the concert. But I was like, I had a good time. I was like, stuff like that. Maybe you can compromise and like, I don't want to go to the ranch and watch you kill anything, but we can go to the rodeo type of situation. Maybe that would be something that y'all can do. Gil has an issue with not ill, wasn't it Mirla in her designer wear. He likes to dress up, but he's not like designer everything. He's extremely cheap. Wait a minute. But I think you could still have designer things on a budget. Go buy your designer things when it's off season. Do it like that. You still have designer things. It's just that you're not buying it. You're not spending $400-$500 for one item. But y'all, I didn't like the way that Gil's friend was coming at Mirla and how she spent her money. It wasn't like she was saying, "Oh, when I get married, my husband he gonna have to keep me in Gucci and Louis and Prada. We gonna have to go to Dubai at least once a year." She wasn't saying that. She was saying what she was doing with her money and what she wants to continue to do with her money. So Gil Mirla, she already says told his friends that she wanted to wait on intimacy and having sex and all these things because they are strangers. And he's like, I feel the same way. He wants to wait because like we don't know each other. We met each other an hour and a half ago, and he wants to wait until she's comfortable with them having sex with each other. And I was like, okay, I understand that. And but she states one of the reasons why she didn't kiss him is because she's conservative and they strangers. So the couples spend their first night together. Now this is when the ladies they got to take off all the makeup and if they got on shapewear and stuff like that, they got to take that off and they new husbands got to see them in a fresh face. That's why. Well, I can't. Well, me and my husband we knew each other before we got married, but that shapewear that is evil. But sometimes if you burn at certain things, you don't want your gut showing. It was funny because Johnny, it took that poor man forever to take the buttons off of Bal's dress. He's like, this is like a form of birth control. But Brett, she was worried that Ryan wasn't going to like her without her makeup. But I was like, girl, have you seen some of these celebrities without their makeup? That man will be fine. But he was thoroughly, he's like, my wife is so beautiful with or without makeup. I was like, okay, yes, I'm liking this. I was like, okay, I'm seeing that maybe everybody's gonna last. You know, I was kind of iffy about Jose, and is her name Rachel? Let me not get this woman's name wrong, cause y'all know I will get a name wrong in a minute. Even though I just got done talking about these people, I will still get a name wrong. Where we at? Yeah, Rachel. I was worried about him since he's such a perfectionist. I was worried about Gil and Mirla because she was talking about I want no bald man, I want this man. She seen him, all them things she was saying before. She's like, oh, never mind. I will take this beautiful bald man. Yes, I will. Hmm. But it was like looking out. Nope, we're not even gonna go into the come ups because I told myself I wasn't gonna do that. So y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so my beautiful face puts up a video. You can click on it, you can like it, and share it with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.